sorry.
Assalamu alaikum, Habibis and Habibis. Marhaba to the African AFCON Link Up, brought to you on SuperSport. They call me Chewy Chew or Mohammed Chewy Chew, your host, live here in Morocco. And we're about to have a great time. What is the AFCON Link Up? This is a family meeting of everybody from all over Africa, the north, the south, the east, the west. We hear, we banter, we analyze, we talk everything football, the beautiful game of football in the festive season. I'm not alone. I got to introduce my guest to you from the south of Africa. Lemmy Loco joins us here again. What's good, Lemmy?
Bro, I don't know who's got more of an identity crisis between you and John, you know? Like, what was that? What was that all about? What's happening?
Brother, Habibi, I'm African. Okay.
I mean, no shade to John. No shade to John. John's my brother.
Well, speaking of John, we go to the west side Africa. John is from Ivory Coast, Ghana, wherever. He's from somewhere. John, how are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm just from West Africa. You can call me from West Africa, depending on if Senegal wins. I might be from Senegal, Rec, if I'm from other places. So just West African, and I love it. Last day of the year, my hair's down. We're on this Link Up show. It's going to be awesome. So looking forward to it.
Good to link up with you again, Habibi. And all the way in Morocco, in Fez, the city, our landlord, we've got Zakaria. How you doing, my guy?
I'm doing good. Thank you, Chewy. It's a pleasure to be here and to be all with you guys from all over Africa. And I'm really happy that Morocco is hosting the AFCON, and I gotta meet all these African people, and meet them as I did yesterday with you in the stadium. I had a really good vibe, and I think it's gonna be a good AFCON this time. Yeah.
I like that. So AFCON has begun. The results are rolling in. So far, so good. Guys, talk to me. Which team has surprised you the most, like in early exits? Let's talk the early exits. Which team has surprised you so far? I'll start with you, Zach.
Okay, AFCON is always full of surprises.
Yes.
Early exits are not shocking anymore because the gap between teams has become very small. There are no easy games in African football, and even strong teams can be punished for small mistakes. What I mean is that's why the AFCON considered one of the most unpredictable tournaments in the world football, not as as the World Cup or the other cups.
Okay. John, what about you, man?
Yeah, I've been surprised by really three teams. Gabon, 0 points is really, really bad. I mean, we talked about it in the first show. Gabon was one of those teams that we really looked to in the group of death, Group F. We thought to themselves it's going to be three big teams, but in the end, Gabon didn't show up. So they were really disappointing. And then the other two teams that, have been dark horses in the previous AFCONs that really were disappointing were Equatorial Guinea and Comoros. They really messed up my bracket. I was counting on them to, do some little bit of upsets here and there, but they really weren't the disruptors that we thought they were going to be. So they're out, and just disappointed for all three teams.
Let me talk to us.
I don't know if there's any surprises. I'm not surprised by anybody who's out. First of all, before I give you my thoughts, is it just me or Zach looks like CR7 with those shades on?
He does. I was gonna say that, but I was
they call me that. They tell me that I look like the Ronaldo Jr.
Yeah,
I think it
without
looks like CR 5.5.
So I'm not even 7.
Shout out. But look, I mean, honestly, from my end, I don't think I respect to everybody who participate in these group stages. I'm not surprised by a single exit. I mean, you've got the likes of Botswana in there. I really didn't have any hopes in Equatorial Guinea. I mean, who else? Gabon, I don't know. Considering the group that they're in, considering the group of death, I don't think they stood a better chance than Ivory Coast or Cameroon to get out of that group. So from where I stand, I feel like the guys who are currently knocked out right now is what I would have predicted to get knocked out. I don't see any of those guys having made it out of those groups, to be quite honest.
So you really thought Aubameyang was gonna be? He was not gonna factor in Gambia's chances or Gabon's
Ah,
chances. Sorry.
bro, look, again, considering the group that they're in, they're up against the toughest opponents. You saw that game against Ivory Coast and Cameroon. That showed you the caliber of those groups that are the teams that are dominating in that group. They
Mm.
absolutely stand no chance against those two groups. So because they would have needed to beat those two teams in order for them to advance, or at least get a win here and a draw on the other side. But considering the group, how tight Group F was, I didn't see anybody knocking out Cameroon or Ivory Coast.
I mean, Mozambique, man, they've also been impressive. First AFCON win. And by the way, guys online, if you're checking us up on social media, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Facebook, I'm going through the comments, I'm checking. Drop your flags. You know how we do on the AFCON Link Up. Drop your flags. Let us know where you're talking to us from. And for all the questions we're posing, also let us know your opinions. I'll be checking, I'll be reading it out. I mean, let us know, man. Um, so with the way it's panned out, going back to Mozambique, man, that was a game. That was a cracker. Like, my
Yeah.
goodness. Did any of you guys catch that game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I caught the
Yeah.
highlights. Like I said, I've got my money on the big boys, and I'm
Mm.
excited for the next phase. I saw from the highlights it was a very tense game. It was a tight game, but again, man, it's Mozambique. Like, respect to everybody who's in AFCON. Let's just be realistic. The big boys came in very hot.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're saying, there's the pressure for Morocco to win because they're hosting. There's the pressure for Ivory Coast, Cameroon, former glory. There's a lot of guys who are in there swinging. So yeah, I
Which
really
other
didn't
big
have.
boys were in the? Which other big boys can you mention?
Oh, sorry, so I did forget one big boy. South Africa was also in the
Oh,
cut.
you're not
So
gonna
yeah.
sneak that in there. You're not going to sneak
Oh
that in there.
yeah.
Zach,
No,
you believe
what did
South
you?
Africa is a big team?
I think South Africa is a great team.
Thank you, Zach. Thank
Neither
someone who knows
we,
football,
we
Chewy.
lost against them, but I'm not denying that South Africa is a good team. They play really cool. I think they can compete Nigeria.
Let's talk South Africa. You're saying South Africa can compete against the only team in the AFCON with maximum points and most goals scored. Sure.
Ah,
What are you guys on TikTok or YouTube? Type it. Let us know. And South Africa started quite big, quite cocky. They said you must not pray for them, you must pray for everybody else. And now they began to stumble. It was like an Amapiano journey to the next round for them because it was just
bro,
up
this
and
is
down, up and
this is a
down.
marathon, Chewy. This is not a
What
sprint. This is a
what was
marathon.
let me talk to
So
us. What was the energy in
it's
the country like before the AFCON started and as the results have been coming out for South Africa? What was the spirit in Mzansi like?
it was, I won't lie, that Angola game kind of like humbled us a bit because we thought we were going to dominate that game with at least like 3 goals. It looked a bit shaky. Now going into the game with Egypt, oh, that one, I think it showed where we're lacking and where we could improve because failing to get 3 points. And Chewy, I don't want to hear anything from you. Let me say my piece, okay? Don't interrupt me here. Let me say my piece. Failing to get 3 points against a 10-man Egypt was very concerning because if anything, that could have been the game where we secured our qualification to the next round. But I won't lie, the excitement is it went down a little bit because we kind of saw a lot of loopholes. The game against Zimbabwe as well wasn't very convincing, but in our defense, a lot of the Zimbabwean players play in our local league, so they know us. They've got our number. So we can't really be too hard done about that one.
I'd like to give a shout out to Zimbabwe, by the way, guys. A very special team, because of their names. And Zach, here's a little bit of culture here. And I find Zimbabweans, look, this. I'm reading out some of the team sheets, right? They have a knowledge, Musona. They have a marvelous. They have a Washington. They've got a Elvis, Teenage. Someone's name is Teenage. They have a Prosper, but unfortunately, they weren't able to be prosperous into the next round of the AFCON. But it's all love to you, Zimbabwe. There's also a God knows. So will they make it to the next AFCON? Well, I guess only God knows.
That's right.
You're saying. So Zach, what about you with Morocco? I mean, they tied they had a tie, right? In one of their games. How has the spirit been? Have they been hopeful? Have they been felt humbled a bit with Morocco's performances so far?
Like before the last match of the Zimbabwe match, the audience was all attacking Morocco because of the
Really?
level. Because we were attacking the team and the leader before even the AFCON because we needed him to change the plan because the plan was not helpful. The players was not like I don't think they're good with each other in the game. Like they don't understand each other. And the plan, as I say, is not as good as people want because we lost every time. Even though we win, it's a bad score or bad plays. We miss opportunities to score, and that's why we try to to give our voice to the head coach, the Regragui of Morocco, and he responded. Thankfully, he responded with the last match of Zimbabwe, and we hope he stands with this plan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit
John,
tense
from the
there,
outside
folks.
looking in, would you have had the same problems with Morocco?
Yeah, I mean, I think that Morocco was there to not concede before anything else. I mean, it's kind of difficult though because you look at the likes of Hakimi not starting because of the injury that he had at PSG and trying to beat the clock to try to come and really bring this team to win this AFCON glory. But out of the ashes or out of somewhere else, I don't know where you want to call it, Brahim Diaz has become the face of this Moroccan team and has really stood out. And so they have that defensive stability with Amrabat, who has been doing really well, who didn't play in that third game. So it gave, them more of an attacking feel to the team. And I think that the fans really responded well, like Zach mentioned to that. But let's talk about one player that really has impressed me, El Kabi.
Kabi, Kabi, right?
Not only one,
Goodness.
but two
Fantastic.
fantastic
He's
bicycle kicks.
magical. Yeah, he's
It's
magical.
just magical, like you
Like
say, and he's something is fantastic.
as we watch in Morocco, we always see Kabi scoring the same way, neither his head or his leg. I mean the cycle, the cycle
Bicycle
goal.
kick,
Yeah,
yes.
the cycle kick. He always does that, and he's really good at it. I think,
There's a
yeah, he's magical like Ronaldo was with the cycle kick.
Yeah, but here's a fun fact. He has about 10 bicycle kicks in his career, two in this tournament. That's crazy.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah, that's
insane.
crazy, yeah.
It's
And
insane.
I was reading a thread about him that he has a crazy story, fantastic story. It's a story in resilience because he's a late bloomer, right?
Mhm.
Started very late. He was a carpenter at 24, which is the peak prime ages for a lot of footballers. And now he's gone on to just do great things right now. Is he that how big is El Kabi now in Morocco, or has he been underappreciated? Is it his time now that they're really appreciating him?
I think this is the time that Kabi, as you said, he's appreciated from Morocco, but before he was doing this, but now he did a great match, and his performance was really good. As did you mention Diaz? Diaz had a really good performance. As others players, like something changed in the spirits of the players. I don't know what the coach said to them in the behind the scenes because yeah, they really changed. And one thing that no one have mentioned, have you watched the Arab Cup, you
No,
guys?
no.
Was a
Let me
really
doesn't
good.
have the premium subscription on his
Wow,
cable.
You can
wow.
watch
Yeah.
it on YouTube, bro.
Wow.
Like it's free subscription,
It's free.
free to watch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was
Let me. You can't afford free.
yeah.
I'll get you back, Chu. I've got something for you.
Yeah.
Hey,
As I
2026,
say,
you're gonna
like
afford it.
yeah,
Talk to us about the Arab Cup, man.
like the Cup was phenomenal. As I said, Morocco won the cup. And we played with the third team. Just imagine,
Wow.
it's not the first team. All the countries played with the first team.
It
Morocco
doesn't.
played with the third team, not the second one, not the first one. And we performed really good with Tarek Skiti, with the head coach. He was really good. Look, when you watch the game, you're really happy because the players knows each other, knows how to dribble and shoot, and you enjoy watching the game. Like, and one thing, in the last match, the Skitiwi was watched, and he was in the audience. This is the
I don't
first
know.
time. He
I
was
don't know.
not in the first game. He was not in the second game or the third game. He was in this match. I think that Luqja, the owner of the club, I don't know how to say it in English, but he talked to Tarek Skitiwi to help Morocco to improve the plan, as I said, because it's the first time that have been changed for a long time. I think since
Hey, man.
2022.
Look, I'll be honest with you. The Arab Cup sounds exciting. But if I'm going to win it with my third team, it doesn't sound like that competition is very difficult. It's like I could bring my Sunday league team over.
It was good to watch. I'm not gonna lie, it was good to
Okay.
watch, but it's not as good as the African Cup or the World Cup.
Yeah. I think we should. John, do you still play football? Maybe we could put up a Sunday league team.
Yeah,
and
we
play
can.
the Arab
Yeah,
Cup.
let's do it. Let's do it. I'll be the striker. You know, Zach is gonna be the goalkeeper, and
Yeah.
and then Lemmy's gonna be the 10-8-6. You know, play
Lemmy can be
over
the
the
water boy.
midfield.
Wow, I'm gonna be the water boy. Look,
Wow.
Chewy, I think we need to do a 1v1 and live stream it so that people know exactly what's going on. I could teach you some lessons, you know, in the same way that South Africa needs to take some lessons out of some of these matches going into the round of 16. There's a lot to learn from what Zach just said regarding the coaches changing up their strategies. I think from a supporter's perspective as a South African, we did see a lot of things that the coach didn't get right in terms of his combinations and his substitutions as well. There's games where we thought Mbule should have started and he didn't. There's games where we thought Nkota should have started and he didn't. Going into the round of 16 is going to be really tough. And a lot of us in South Africa, like, were very vocal about that, you know. But speaking of how vocal we are, there was a lot of vibes in SA during the SA games. And I want to share that with you guys. I want to take you guys to our partner venues and show you and listen to some of the comments that our fans had regarding the South African team and those matches.
Let's watch it.
We thought Bafana was going to get a draw, was going to get a win. Wow, but it looks like 6 points. Qualified, Egypt qualified. Your thoughts?
That's all that matters right now. Into the knockout stage, we've made it difficult, more difficult than it should have been in true South African fashion. But yeah, 2 points, 2 wins out of 3.
Yeah.
We all know what happened with the Egypt game. That was kind of a throwaway result, so we'll take this into the knockout stage.
Now, we were watching the game as well. We scored 3 goals, but we also conceded 2. Some may say clumsily. So does that defense worry you?
Yes, it does, because at AFCON, goals can change the complexion of games, the complexion of the draw. So keeping a tight ship is how we got to a 3rd place finish at the last campaign.
That was tough.
Yeah, no, that was tough, eh? I think our neighbors gave us a hard time, my bro.
They didn't get the script.
And it's the second time in a very short time, which is good, eh? You know, SADC teams are growing. And I've seen them, I've seen Zambia, I've seen Uganda playing very well. It can only be good for our football in the SADC region, especially because they've got some players playing in our local league. But I think it's good Bafana won. At least we got one better after what happened in that World Cup qualifier.
You know what happened in that World Cup?
I know what happened.
Please don't traumatize me. And I have knowledge that you're going to give me your beautiful points as well. There was no knowledge, Musona, though, for Zimbabwe.
I watched this game, you can see I'm sweating.
You are sweating. He's really sweating.
I'm really sweating. Every chance that I got, I had to sweat. But I'm very happy. This win for South Africa is just beyond for the country.
Yeah.
South Africa is one of the big ambassadors for African football.
Yeah.
We are going to the World Cup. You really don't want them to go by a chance. They have to go the way they went, and we hope they keep going, because this is the building block as they go to represent Africa.
Very, very nail-biting, but I think the boys pulled up. They played very well. It was just unfortunate that we couldn't keep the lead in the first place, but all credit goes to them.
Now, Liema, some of those guys that are out in Morocco, you know them all, the likes of Chandre, Tylen Smith and them. What would they be thinking?
Oqala engqondweni yabo obvious bavuyela ithuba babebe pha. Kosibini bagain lo experience abanayo because neplayer abadlala nazo. And now so uthethile baba khona nibaziyo Chandre Okembo. Abantu bendlala nabo. So ndiyabavuyela nabo babe pha kulaa ndawo bakuyo namhlanje.
Okay, we heard what the people had to say at the SuperSport partner venue where all the vibes are at. I want to take a quick break because Africa is watching. This is the family meeting, the AFCON Link Up. So I'm on TikTok. I'm giving a shout out to Tanzania, Saturn Foundation on TikTok. Like Tanzania's flag, they got beaten black and blue. The colors of their flag. We see Nigeria in there. We see Ghana in there. South Africa, I see your flags in here. Zach, somebody on YouTube is giving you a shout out there.
Really?
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. I see they call you the great Zakaria.
Oh.
Yeah, Tanzania's on Facebook. I'm seeing Fumani Baloyi on Facebook as well. Man, a hot AFCON. A lot of Emmanuel, shout out to you on Facebook. But guys, let's talk about speaking of Tanzania, man, they've made it. It looks like they've squeezed through. Any small teams you think are still going to be dark horses in this knockout round? Who should we be afraid of as the results come rolling in? What is that one team you think we should be afraid of in the AFCON? That one small team who didn't participate, who didn't qualify very highly.
I think Tanzania is a great one. I mean, for you to slip in through there, they didn't have I mean, what? They didn't win a single game, but they still qualified into the next round. They've got a chance to redeem themselves. They've got a chance to really kind of like shut the show down. As to whether they can, that's another question. You know, that's another topic for another day. But if I was a betting man, I would probably bet on Tanzania. You know, when you got that kind of luck, I think you can go all the way.
I don't know. Guys, I would go for Mali.
Oh, that's another one. Yeah. You actually onto something with Mali. I think Mali.
Yeah, I was gonna say that because Mali had a good performance.
Yeah, but like 3 points. They didn't win a single game, just drew all the way and drew their destiny to a knockout round. John, what do you think about that, man?
Yeah,
they say that's a scary team.
Mali is one of those teams that has a lot of talent. If you look at the Mali squad, they have a lot of talent. If you saw more recently at the under-17 level, they have a lot of talent that is coming through. But on their day, they can either blow hot or cold. And, 3 points from 3 draws, I'm not sure how they're going to do. But speaking of lucky teams, I was not going to I didn't want to upset you, but let's not talk about Nigeria because, I don't know if they're lucky or they're just been overperforming. But
don't hold back on that, John. Please.
Yeah, okay. I'm not holding back.
That's the bottom line.
They are unlucky. And yes, you have an insane squad depth and quality, but I'll remind you of 2021 where you were scoring for fun, only to be knocked out in the 16th round by Tunisia. So, history has a way of repeating itself.
I'm sorry. The same Tunisia that we put 3 goals past? That same Tunisia? Zach, are you going to let them speak to Nigeria like this?
Bruh, no, don't pick on them like this. I think they did a good job. Nigeria, I really enjoyed the game yesterday. Like, when you have fun, you really have fun. And you see the players, everything is good. I don't think it's luck. Yeah, I'm with the golden boy on this.
Hey,
Zach, I have a question.
How much is he paying you, Zach? How much is he paying you to say this?
Plenty of money. I ain't gonna lie.
Listen, no. Leave my boy Zach. I haven't paid him anything yet, okay? All right? But guys, Zach, thank you for your time.
You gotta give me some of the Nigerian money. Yeah.
Hey, bro. We will link up later, okay? Don't worry, Habibi.
Okay, you're in my seat.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to take a break, but when we return, we're going to go into the green, white, green, the Super Eagles. You want to talk about Nigeria? Well, we're going to talk about Nigeria when we come back from the break. Don't go anywhere. This is the AFCON Link Up. It's Chewy Chew. We've got Lemmy Loco, who's sounding kind of local right now, and John, and we've had Zach. Zach, thank you for joining us, my guy. We're going to take a break. And any last words, Zach? Africa. If you had a message to Africa, go on. The mic is yours.
I have a message to Africa. Okay, what I'm saying is, I'm really happy that we are hosting. Again, I'm gonna say I'm really happy that we're hosting the AFCON. I just want, if they can come and watch the final here, and enjoy the vibes in Morocco. I think Moroccans love the other African countries, and we're happy that we're hosting this.
I love it. One question before I let you go. Is Ghana invited?
Doesn't seem like it.
All right, guys, we're taking a break and we'll be right back. It's still the AFCON Link Up.
The family meets at AFCON. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
2014. I remember it like it was yesterday. The game meant so much to us. Rona, hungry for success, and our passion knew no bounds. When the DSTV Diski Challenge emerged, what a pivotal moment in South African football. It was as if the universe answered our prayers and gave us a platform to showcase our skills on and off the field.
China flaps at it, falls at him. Floor, here's Mbogazin. Collider, that is it, from Drew Shabalala. Ronald Williams, the man from PE. He strikes the ball, Gazana attacks it, and then...
Look at him, he'll be flying down the wing.
Improvisation from the 18-year-old Lal Foster.
Tapala Morena with the goal already in this tournament.
In for a brace. Nkota!
And Koza.
Ibata, who powers it home. Chance here from Bule!
This festive season, bring everyone together for the world's best football on DSTV. We've got plenty of goals to celebrate, so stay with us because it's definitely on. Be part of every game, every roar, right here on SuperSport. Too much football? Never. On the world's best football package, DSTV Compact. It's on.
Join the road to the Premier League and score. Enter on DSTV Rewards and you could win fantastic prizes, including 2 trips to watch the Premier League in person. Brought to you by SuperSport Bet for the football fans.
Marhaba, marhaba, marhaba. Welcome back to the AFCON Link Up. It's still Chewy Chew, it's John, it's Lemmy, and I've got a little upside down guest. Teboho. Teboho, how you doing?
I'm good. You see me as a better.
You're hanging. Are you there? Yeah, I need you to get the screen on. Okay, good. Talk to us. Where you from? Talk to Africa. Let's have your little intro. Do you have something big for us? Let's hear you. Talk your big AFCON talk.
Yeah, I'm now.
You said what?
Yeah, that network is not doing any. It's not she's not representing South Africa very well. I see with the shirt that she's from South Africa. I'd just like to say to everybody, this is not a representation of how we roll.
I agree. It's not a representation of South Africa. Lovely place. More like a representation of the way the team has been struggling in the AFCON, if you ask me. So it's...
Bro, we're not struggling. We're just having a slow start. There's a huge difference, Chewy. We're having... I said to you earlier, this is a marathon, right? You have these group games to figure out what you're doing wrong and what you need to fix. And that's all we're doing right now. This is what you did at the last AFCON. And we had you guys shaking in your boots. You know, that game divided the whole of Africa, not just Nigeria and South Africa, but we're just having a slow start. Just keep it at that.
Sorry, my memory doesn't serve me well. John, did you watch that last AFCON, John?
I did. I was actually in the stadium for that match.
You were
But
in the stadium.
yeah.
Fantastic. My head hurts.
Yeah.
Can you remind me how that game with Nigeria and South Africa went? Did things go south for South Africa in that game?
Well, it depends what you mean by south. If you mean south by South Africa, things did not go south. But if you mean that South Africa didn't win, unfortunately they did not in that game.
Oh, they didn't win the game? Oh, really?
No.
What happened? Remind Africa what happened.
All I remember is that Ivory Coast won against Nigeria in the final. All the other stuff is just
John,
a blur. It was just a blur.
we're talking about the Nigeria South Africa the last time they met up, and they lost to Egypt. It's like they got spanked by a mummy in the last the game versus Egypt. But let's talk Nigeria, right? Dominant AFCON force in the group games, maximum points, highest scoring team so far. How are we feeling? Are they starting out very hot? Do you think they can keep it red hot all the way to the end, or do you think they're like Arsenal, who go red hot and then just when it matters, just drop off?
Well, that's a very, very good question. I think that it really all depends on how individuals do throughout the rest of this AFCON. The guys who really stand out to me, or the one guy who really stands out to me is Lookman. Lookman has been on fire, scored a couple goals, had a couple assists, and you just see him, everything goes through him, and he's the live wire. He's a life in this Nigerian team. So I think that if he continues to play like a guy who is possessed by, this desire to prove himself and to make his move next summer, then you guys will potentially do very well and continue to perform and go far within the AFCON. So I think that's really important. And Didi as well has been performing well for me. I think that he's another key player to this Nigeria team. But let's see how it goes, because like we say, usually the group stage is one tournament. Now it's knockout stage it's another completely different tournament. You're going to have to face teams that might sit a bit lower, that have more to lose. So if Lookman and other key players like him show up, then you'll certainly go far. Otherwise, who knows?
Africa, tell me in the comment section, what's your thoughts about Nigeria so far? I know you have something to say.
Look, all I can say to the Nigerian team is that if you guys just stop making TikTok content, if Chukwueze can just focus on the tournament and not content there in the bars and, complaining about Fulham not posting him on the page, maybe you guys have a chance. Maybe you guys are focused on the wrong things. And let's not forget who you guys were actually paired with in that group. The strongest team in that group, which we could say was your strongest opponent, was Tunisia. Other than that, I really wouldn't have bet on any other team to beat Nigeria, but now it's the business end of the tournament. You guys are too focused on what South Africa is doing wrong, this, that, and the other. You're busy making TikTok content there in the team bars instead of focusing on the tournament. If you don't focus, Chewy, you guys might just get knocked out in the round of 16.
I'm looking on YouTube, and Wamopedi is saying essays about hyping average players. That's not me saying that. Players, that's what they're saying.
I need proof. YouTube. I need proof of that comment. Because
check
something
YouTube.
tells me that's your comment.
He also says that Hugo Bruce is a scared coach, right? Seriously, I'm seeing that here. But I'm going to switch gears. Somebody's talking about Tanzania. Mo Sid TV says, believes Tanzania, if the coach would make wise decisions versus puts in players he likes, basically nepotism, I guess he's saying, that maybe they would actually make a difference in Tanzania. And
what are they saying about Nigeria, Chewy? What's going on about Nigeria there?
Read
the real comments, not the ones you banked.
Somebody really said they side
notes.
with you here. If they put aside TikTok contents, they might make a change. Listen, no, the Nigerian players don't do TikTok. They do Snapchats. All right. They do Snapchat. Speaking of talks, you joined us in here. We're talking Nigeria. Lemmy here is saying that we're going to get hits.
Lonely at the top, Lonely, lonely, lonely.
Lonely.
If your team won
all
all
my
your group
life.
stage matches, raise your hands.
It's giving Arsenal.
All right.
Lonely at the top. It's
All
giving
right.
Arsenal. We've seen
Let's
this
see
movie
your
before.
armpits. If you won all your group stage matches, let's see your armpits, brother. Show it
Hey,
off.
excuse me, Tokes. Everybody put your hands up. John's hands up. Lemmy hands up. Put a finger down if you won all your games. Put a finger down if you have the most players in the Premier League and the top leagues in the world.
Oh, wow.
Put the finger down if you're the highest scoring team in the AFCON so far. Put the finger down
Pressure.
if the CAF page have been posting your players and your moments the most.
You see, this is what I'm saying about you guys being obsessed with TikTok.
Oppression. Oppression.
AFCON titles in this block.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And I'll take that. I'll take that. I'll take that.
Listen, we'll come back to this conversation at the end of AFCON. We'll remember this whole finger thing.
Come on, let's go. Keep the energy the same. That's what I say.
What's your early analysis of Nigeria so far, Tokes? Talk to us.
You forgot one, Chewy. Sorry. Before you go on, Talks, you forgot one. Put your finger down if you're going to the World Cup. I thought so. Sorry.
Play what you can win. Oh,
I thought so.
Play what you can win. Don't go and mark register and say present, sir. Only to go home after 2 weeks.
No, but it's
play
fine.
what you can win.
It's fine. You know how, like I said, it's giving Arsenal. You remember that guy that printed a shirt even saying lonely at the top of the table, only for it to.
You can't be bragging with World Cup qualification when you know you're not going to get more than 1 point in the group stage.
We're gonna get more than one.
Come on.
And
if it's Cameroon talking,
link up for World
or
Cup,
if it's Morocco talking for going to the semi-final, like I can hear them, but not your greatest moment is an opening goal in the World Cup, Shabalala, and that's it.
It was a great goal. It was a great goal.
Let's go. But it was a great goal. It was a good moment.
All right, let's stay with Super Eagles. Talk to us about Super Eagles so far.
Listen, Eric Chell. We need to start calling this guy the key holder of the Super Eagles. This guy has unlocked a panache, an enthusiasm, a flavor, a doings in these boys. We always knew we could play like this. We always knew we could score like this. We always knew we could perform as loud as this. But who is that guy that can make us reach this level? And I've spoken to 1 or 3 coaches that have come to play qualifying games with Super Eagles, and they always say, give me the Nigerian team B and I'll reach the World Cup semi-final. They don't talk about even winning the AFCON because it's like a given. The individual talent is so good, and it looks like now the conditions we are playing with in Morocco is also helping them because, I mean, at the same time, even if you want to say, some people were going to say you have good pitches now, there's no complaint. But now we are seeing these players giving us the performances we see of them in Europe. Samuel Chukwueze is toying with people's fathers for fun. We have a 70-year-old goalkeeper playing for Uganda, running from the match after first match. 3 goalkeepers you use in one game, concede 3 goals. Who does that? Only the Super Eagles can achieve this level of greatness. So I'm very, very happy that the boys are finally playing with their full potential. It's not like play this for Europe and then you play this for us. No, it's the same energy now. And we did a lot of rotation in that final game of the group, but then it looked like nothing really changed. Different players, but the same vibe, the same energy, the same execution of the coach's idea. And that's what we saw on the pitch. So I'm very, very happy that those players got their minutes delivered for us, and now we can now see them as viable options going into the knockout rounds. There's no second chances in the knockout rounds. I'm sure they are very, very aware. And yeah, we are good to go. So happy, so happy.
Okay, so do you think the players how do you think their mindsets should be right now? How do you think it is, and how do you think it should be right now, considering they were hot in the AFCON, the last AFCON, they went all the way to the finals? What do you think the Nigerians' head should be right now?
I mean, whenever questions are asked of these players in press conferences, in media palace or whatever, the energy is always the same. We went to the final last time, we have to go one better this time. And that's the goal is tunnel vision. That's our only target. Only thing we see is little hurdles we'll have to cross on the way there. But everybody's focus is on winning it. And no matter what you say, sometimes great teams have these little slip-ups in finals. Senegal, before they won it, you know how it was the year before. And also many other teams in European football, you get to the final the first time, you lose it, and then the next one you win it. So being that the last AFCON was just a little bit over 1 year ago, we are active and all the players are locked in on winning it. So I'm sure they have their eyes set on also not living in the round of 16, because not long ago in Cameroon, we were so good, this good in the the group stage as well. But now, win it. That's what's on their minds.
John, what are your thoughts?
Well, you already know my thoughts. I'm not a sympathizer of the Nigerian folk, but since we've been overpowered by locks and you, Mohammed, Chewy Chew. I don't know if you're Moroccan, if you're Nigerian. It depends on your mood. I mean, overall, Nigeria has really impressed me in this group stage. But like Lemmy said, I think it's really important to look at who they faced and who they're going to face in the beginning. But like people always say, at the end of the day, you have to beat who's in front of you, and they were able to take care of business with the teams that were in front of them. Let's see what happens when we get to the knockout stage and they start playing some of the biggest, the baddest, and the best talent in Africa. And let's see what Nigeria shows up. If it's the Eric Shell that seems to be on fire, or the same Eric Shell that's going to be crouched and someone's pouring water in his head. We'll see how that.
Oh man, does everybody have that meme? I think if he wins the AFCON, he needs to recreate that meme, if you ask me.
Of course.
No, he definitely will when you guys get knocked out. I think we're definitely going to get the recreation of that
guys,
meme.
Speaking of biggest and baddest, right? And I'll start with you. Which players have impressed you so far? What are your standout players? If you had to put like a top 3 standout players of the AFCON so far, who would that be?
I think unbelievably it has to be Brahim Diaz. He's been very, very phenomenal so far. I didn't expect that from him because, he hasn't been with the Moroccan team that long, relatively, and he kind of just fits in like a glove in that team. He's dominating his performances so far, and I think he's very key. If Morocco have any chance of actually winning this tournament, again, why I say any chance is because I also look at who they faced in their group. I think, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, they had a relatively easy path. They had Comoros, Mali was probably maybe their toughest contender. But if they've got any chance of making it all the way, at least to the finals, that guy is going to be a key player for that team going through this journey, man. I think, hands down, Brahim Diaz is one of the standout players for me.
John?
Yeah, I mean, I said Brahim Diaz a bit early on, but I would say I'll go a little bit more old school and bring back Sadio Mane. I mean, he's just been fantastic for the Senegal team. And, fun fact, when he has scored for Senegal, they've never lost in all competitions. So they'll be hoping for him to score in the next round. When he scores, it's 37 wins and 6 draws. So I think that he's going to be fantastic for them if he continues to perform at the highest level, similar to what I mentioned earlier with Lookman. If Sadio Mane is still able to beat his man on the side in 1v1, be able to bring in 2-3 defenders towards him, pass it in the middle, do assist, score goals, then this Senegalese team is going to be a really, really good team. Unfortunately, they have their captain that got a red card that's going to be out, suspended for a couple matches, so that doesn't help them out. But Sadio Mane has been the guy that I've been really impressed by, especially that, he's not in Europe anymore, so we don't see him play day in, day out. And so it's good to see that he still has a very, very high level, and I'm really impressed by the way he's been playing.
True. I would give I'd give a shout out to Rafael Onyedika. Hasn't really played a lot of games. Nigerians have been calling for his head. They need him on the field, and the one chance he gets, 2 goals in there, fantastic. There have been other players. I love Brahim. That's a great pick. Sadio Mane, excellent pick. El Kabi also is a great pick. But Tokes, what about you?
I'll pick a player that's currently he's currently 34 years. He plays in the Saudi League, and coming into this tournament, I mean, I'm not sure many people even paid attention to him being one of the big names that will be playing in this tournament. But then he's showing now retro performances, some of the things he did when he was at his peak at Leicester.
So, folks, we can't hear you anymore. But we get you. We get your point. What we're gonna do? We're gonna take a. Tokes, are you there? So his mic is as silent as Nigeria has silenced a lot of teams and doubters so far.
Wow. I knew Chewy was going to take this chance to turn it into, some sort of...
I'm just saying what it is. And you know what? You can keep hating on Nigeria. You can keep loving them. And you can keep doing that at a SuperSport partner venue all over Nigeria and South Africa. But we're going to take a break, and when we come back, ladies and gentlemen, we are still the AFCON Link Up.
This is AFCON, my friend. Everything is a competition.
Ha, what's in the AFCON for you? Excuse-moi, je suis arrivé.
Everything. The rivalry run deep, my brother. When you hear the noise before you see them, families arrive.
Family meets at AFCON 2025, live on SuperSport, only on DSTV. This broadcast is proudly brought to you by 10Bet.
First rules first. Tennis is and always will be a gentleman's game. Keep the court disturbance free. Dress codes will be strictly enforced. Leave the play to the professionals. Remain seated during play. Children should be seen, not heard. Players and spectators should never interact. Noise must be kept to a minimum. And above all, players must maintain decorum.
Tennis in Australia hits different. Catch all the action from the Australian Open live on 3 broadcast and 2 streaming channels. SuperSport's coverage is proudly brought to you by MNG Investments.
The family meets at AFCON. Catch every match in 6 languages with analysis by the continent's biggest stars. Live on SuperSport, only on DSTV.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the AFCON Link Up. We spoke in Nigeria, we spoke in big players, we spoke in AFCON in the round of 16. And John, I want to pick on something you talked about, right? You talked about how big Sadio Mane is. He's been quite that player, and he is a legend in his own right. If we all can agree. So I want to ask: is it possible to retire? Like, let's think about the legends that never won an AFCON, right? Let's start with Didier Drogba. Fantastic player, never won an AFCON. Does this affect their legacy?
No, I don't think so. I think you can do only what you can, and being able to perform at the highest level, especially in football, since it's not an individual sport, you can only do so much, and you have to be able to have a team around you that also is able to elevate the level and push as hard as they can to be able to win that trophy, and so it's difficult to say that. Someone like Mane, or even you mentioned Didier Drogba, can't be a legend because they're able to win such a such a cup or such a trophy. I would say whatever happens, Sadio Mane is still a legend. He's still going to be a legend for the Senegalese teams. Similar to the likes of El Hadji Diouf, or even in Liverpool or other places that he has gone through. He's such a top player and also a class act off the field. You know, we've heard of so many stories of him giving back to his community, building things. And those are things that most times footballers tend to be selfish, and he's stood out in that way and impacted others around him positively. So he's always going to be a legend in my view, regardless of whether or not he wins an AFCON.
Okay. Tokes. Is Tokes there? Lemmy, you can take over.
Yeah, look, I would have to agree and disagree a bit with John. You know, for the legends of yesteryear, I think we can kind of understand if they never got the opportunity to raise the AFCON, because it took a bit of time for the rest of the world to recognize and respect AFCON. Although it was big in our own right, you know, the rest of the world kind of caught on a bit late in terms of the magnitude of the AFCON, how big it is and what it means to the continent of Africa. I think for the legends of yesteryear, we can kind of, you know, give them a bit of grace. If they didn't lift an AFCON, like you mentioned, the Didier Drogba, we can't take away what he's contributed to football overall. But this group of footballers now, the guys who are currently competing now, this is something that is big for them. You know, it's like any European player winning Champions League. It's like Ronaldo having to win the World Cup. It's that magnitude where when you win the AFCON, it rubber stamps you for your achievements and what you've contributed to African football. I think it's very important for these players of our generation to try their best to win, to rubber stamp. Not to say that it won't make them a legend if they don't win the AFCON, but it's now one of those trophies that are recognized to that extent, that if you've won AFCON, especially if you're a key player for your team, if Sadio Mane wins AFCON now and he decides to retire, you know, next season, we know for sure there is no debate about him being a legend in general and an African legend as well.
So with that being said, a lot of your South African players, Bafana cannot be legends then.
No, look, my brother.
Facts.
You know, I said to you, let's not make this thing personal, and now you're making it personal. You know, Chewy,
just jumping on what you said.
Chewy, the day Nigeria gets knocked out of this AFCON, I don't care where we are, I need us to have an AFCON link up now. After that game, we need to log on now.
You need to win the host first now. We are waiting for you. The hosts are waiting for you.
All right, guys, let's say hi to Carol. They're in the studio getting ready for that AFCON match. This is the AFCON Link Up. We are linking to this studio for the game. Hey, Carol, how you doing? Is she there?
Okay, guys, let's wave. Hi.
Okay.
Hey, we're acting now.
Hey.
All right, talk to us. Talk your final comments and the legendary, the fact about not winning an AFCON. Does it affect your legendary status?
It does. Let's say the truth. It does. You really need to do a lot to look past the fact that the person didn't bring the big one home to still say that person is a legend. But then it doesn't take anything away from your individual achievements, of course, but to say that the person brought the big one home, it just brings something extra. Do you get? Whether it's a team trophy or not, I don't think any of us can underrate the fact that you really need to win something big. Even if as big as Lionel Messi is, imagine the doubters he had when he hadn't won a major international trophy for Argentina. So I mean, who is Sadio Mane to Senegal? But then the energy has to remain the same. If you don't bring the big one home, it affects your legendary status, but it takes nothing away from your achievements.
Okay. Final thoughts, guys, as the year wraps up.
Well, last day of the year, really excited about this Côte d'Ivoire last match against Gabon. I think that Côte d'Ivoire are going to take it home, and then they're going to be top of the league, and then they're going to move on to the next stage, and let's see how far they go. So excited about this knockout stage, and to see, you know, some really good games, and hopefully the best team wins the AFCON, aka not Nigeria.
Okay, well, Nigeria must have a different name. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for rocking with us on the AFCON Link Up. Our next show will be on the 6th January. That's the month of the boy. You know how we do. And hopefully by the next time we convene again, some people will be eating their words. I will bring a napkin, I will bring utensils, and you guys can bring the plates. Africa, we will eat good. Thank you for joining us at the AFCON Link Up. Thank you, Tokes. Thank you, Lemmy. Thank you, John. Thank you, Africa. And we will see you when we see you. They call me Chewy Chew. And from me to you, have a happy new year.
In the heart of every champion lies a journey, one of resilience, passion, and dedication. It's a journey that starts as a dream and is fueled by ambition. A journey made of the relentless pursuit of greatness. And greatness isn't given, it's earned. With every challenge, goal, and celebration, it's a journey that inspires generations. And one that proves that we are made of more. 10Bet, official betting partner of Bafana Bafana.
Now, introducing Cousin Celeste's latest look.
The stunning ballerina princess with a pirate hand and a magician's wand.
I'm also a unicorn and a